Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donuts shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Are we done?
808 3/4.
Are we done? Are we done?
Close enough.
I never know. I have to watch. Okay. Good morning.
Restarting.
Restarting.
Ah, you had a reboot.
Update. Why does it always do that when you need
I just want to
something?
restart because every now and then you need to restart one of these. Not turn it off and turn it back on, but restart. It's different.
Okay, why is it different?
It's the way with a restart, the computer actually processes updates and other critical things that it doesn't always do what they turn off and on.
I could use a restart.
These things, the Androids,
Yes.
once a week, those should be powered down and powered back up.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yep.
I will do that. Do you do that, Peter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Android, you have to.
I reboot all the time.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't?
It'll get sluggish. Apps won't work right. Become unreliable.
Okay. I will go for it. I will try it. I will restart. I will go home and do all that because you have told me. Now you have spoken.
And if you travel a lot, I tend to restart it every day.
Interesting.
Just because it's in and out of so many different networks and it's handed off between so many different cell sites.
Periodic.
Quit that.
I know.
Please.
I know. It's Tuesday morning. I never sleep on a Monday night. It's Tuesday morning. I have a lot of things on my plate. I've got to be awake. I've got to do things. I have so many things to do that I don't know where to start, but it'll get done.
Getting Windows ready. Don't turn off your computer.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
There's supposed to be a Starlink launch this morning, but they're in a hold.
What's the weather there?
Yeah, and
I don't know what it's like in Florida.
are we talking Kennedy or Vandenberg?
I think it's at Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
It's at Canaveral Air Force Station.
Uh-huh.
Supposedly they're going to come up at 9:22. They're in a hold.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
You'll
And
see,
supposedly there's a second launch today, too, from Vandenberg in California.
Well,
They're becoming very reliable. They're at 55 launches for the year, and we're not even halfway yet.
yeah. You see, things are looking like it's pretty close to being on schedule for Starship 4.
I know, about 8 days away. I wish I had disposable income. I'd be on a flight.
That would be a wonderful time of year to go down to that
This is
island.
the perfect time to go down there.
why is that?
Because it's just starting to get warm, but not hot, and the Gulf of Mexico's warm right now.
Okay. That explains it.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's after a holiday weekend,
Good
so it's
morning.
kind of quiet.
I'm afraid to ask you any questions here, Ken. Just from the look on your face, I'm afraid to ask you, how was your weekend, Ken?
It was an expensive weekend.
Oh, no. What did
boy.
What did you do now?
I'm so pissed
Peter.
off I didn't even write a monologue over it.
Oh, no.
You're going to do it from scratch?
Oh, no.
No, I'm not going to go in that direction.
Come on.
No. You know,
Vent a little.
One of the nights I actually called you just to talk through something before I made my decision, but
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds rather ominous. What,
Yeah.
Do I dare ask what happened? Do I even want to go there?
middle of the week I load up the dishwasher and I run it and it's making a weird noise.
Uh-oh.
So because I'm a handyman and I can fix things like that, I deduced that the impeller on the pump was failing.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yep. Can't get the part
Of course not.
because it's part of the whole motor assembly.
Yeah, so you have to buy the whole thing.
Yeah, which isn't available because this model is from
Oh, yeah. We've been there.
2001.
Yeah, we've been there. In fact, we just went there trying to find a part for a lawnmower that, couldn't find. And you had to buy the whole thing. And they said, go on Amazon. And we went on Amazon and we must have gone through 30 items trying to figure it out. So I feel your pain.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah. Well, I didn't fix it, obviously, because... and if the part was available, it had a price tag of like $258 on it.
Yeah, they do that on purpose. They don't want
So now, over the past couple of years, the actual racks themselves have been falling apart. They're rusting, and the little tines sticking up.
Wait a minute, what year was it again?
I think it's an 01.
Oh, honey, you're way past due. Yeah, the life cycle of machines today
Oh, I
is
know.
like 7 years.
Yeah.
So you did a great job to be that long.
Yeah. So I had to I had to buy a new dishwasher. It should be showing up. It should be showing up on Tuesday of next week.
Now, is it built in?
Oh yeah. It's 2 screws and a couple of connections in the back to remove it.
Okay.
I'm just going to remove the old one. Now, I have a pro account with Lowe's, so supposedly they're going to be able to take that away. If not, I'll just put it up on the tree belt as scrap. It'll be gone in half an hour. But I ended up ordering and paying for a new dishwasher.
At Lowe's, you said.
At Lowe's.
Okay.
Because it was a deal I couldn't turn down. It's a Midea brand, but Midea, actually, they build for Whirlpool and GE.
Okay.
And I actually bought a Midea air conditioner about 3 years ago, and it's been solid.
Okay.
So that didn't scare me. I got a good deal on it. It was $200-something off for Memorial Day. A Lowe's only model. So yeah, I thought, okay, that was the
That's
weekend.
one.
That's one.
That's one.
What movie is that show? That's
What?
one.
Huh?
It was a joke that I heard. I don't know of any movie.
Yeah.
It's a joke with the
Yeah.
married man. He gets married.
Well, yeah, and the wife keeps opening up or she's running her mouth, and then he does something. That's one. That's two. And next thing you know, she's dead. And then
the joke doesn't.
and then
go that far.
and then another woman comes around and starts running her mouth, and he goes, "That's one." I don't remember what movie that was from now.
I must have missed that movie.
Yeah.
So one.
Getting Windows ready. Don't turn off your computer.
Still?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm afraid to ask you to keep going. It's scaring me. Although we do all have those days. Things come in threes. Did we get that far? Or did we go
That was
back?
one.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, go for it.
That was one.
I put the pool up,
And
and I had a weep. So I'm pretty sure I corrected the weep.
Leak.
The following morning, that weep turned into a very serious leak.
oh, no.
So I start looking into this, and people are getting 4 to 5 years out of these. They're cheap. They can get damaged during breakdown and setup, and so I'm at 4 years. I try to do a couple more patches. I'm now
Did
in.
you have a leak before?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I was able to repair it.
Okay.
So now I'm in the pool in about 2 feet of water because overnight the leak got that bad.
Wow.
So now I'm applying patches with my foot and putting weight down on it. Oh, there must have been a crap ton of little pinholes in there because all of a sudden, it tears.
Wow.
Yeah, 8-inch tear. I'm like, okay,
Holy moly.
do I put the
No
effort?
more water in the pool.
Do I put an effort into repairing this?
I would buy a new pool.
Well, this is what I was going to talk through. So, I'm online now, figuring, okay, 4 to 5 years. I'm at 4, but I take care of my stuff. So it really should have been longer. There's no rough housing in the pool. There's no jumping, no kids in it. So now I have all my chemicals that I bought for the season. I bought that extra filter, that sand filter, because these pools don't normally come with one. So now I've got that investment. So I bought a new pool.
No. No.
I'm not surprised. You like your pool.
I use it every day.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah. So, yep. I bought it through AliExpress.
I don't know what that is.
You might get less time.
Well, I know what to look for with these because initially I put a lot of research into them. And it was very tough to find because I can't do 15 foot. I need to do 14 foot where I am. So you pay a little bit more for that. For some reason, a 14-footer costs more than a 15-footer. But also the 14-footers, they tend to have the strainer type water outlet for filtering. Where the ones that are 15, they just have a hole that sucks the water into the filter, which is, you don't want that. You know, a skimmer, well, that's more like a real pool. You put your chlorine in there and clean everything out. You hook your vacuum up to it. So that, you know, it's the same exact pool that I have now, but it's not branded.
It's okay.
And the brand that I have now currently doesn't exist anymore. It's a different name.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, same original mother company, Poly Group.
Oh, okay.
Poly Group.
It doesn't.
And
and I don't know pools.
The brand I have in Outback now,
Yeah.
which isn't going to be Outback for very long, is Summer Waves. But now it's called Funicle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's 2.
Don't rush me. Jesus Christ, woman.
Somebody has to.
So now either later on today or maybe tomorrow or Thursday before Thursday probably won't happen. So today, this afternoon, or tomorrow before the budget meeting that I'm covering.
Okay.
So that the lovely constituents of Westfield can watch it. I have to tear this thing down now.
Oh.
And I already have a plan in action. I've already been in it, and I took my utility knife and I scored all around the bottom. Yeah, any water that was left just gone instantly. So now I have a tarpaulin, and I have the bottom of that pool in place, which I'm going to leave to give extra protection and
A double base.
Yeah. Instead of just putting the liner down on the little mat they provide, now I'm going to have multiple layers just to keep it protected, and it'll also soften it out.
Okay.
So there's an improvement there. So I bought new utility knife blades from Amazon for $2 the other day. They showed up last night. I'm just going to go through every section and just do a vertical cut. And then roll it up and chuck it. It shouldn't be that difficult to get rid of. And I think the support bars, they might be available for scrap out in the tree belt in a couple of days.
Okay. So you're good to
Or you can go back on Temu and buy a smelter and just melt it all down. Make ingots.
They have distillers, too, on Temu.
That's ambitious.
I've almost ordered one.
Why
Could you
doesn't
imagine
that
buying a
surprise
smelter?
me? No.
Yeah, but then you have to invest in molds and oblets.
No, the kit
and-
comes with it.
Really?
Yes.
A mold for what?
Ingots.
Okay. Yeah, but see, I just wouldn't want to do ingots. I'd want to manufacture something. You know, like a, toy soldier or
Well,
something.
you could take the ingots and then manufacture it.
But then
here.
then you have to. There's further investment there.
It's way too complicated. Way too complicated. So you're going to get your pool down. How long do you think that'll take you to get it all down?
An hour.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
Not bad.
No, a lot of it's just going to be the back and forth, with the materials.
Okay.
And I've been doing my spring clean out of the house, so I don't have much room in the bin now to put this stuff. So, yeah. You know what else is complicated?
Uh-oh. I'm afraid to ask.
North Star engines.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now what?
So I figured, okay, I'm in the clear now. Weekend, dishwasher, check, pool, check.
Okay, so everything should be good. You're good to go. Everything's calm. Long weekend. You can relax and drum roll.
The green rocket is misfiring.
Oh, no.
That's 3.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. And I knew something was going to be coming up because the last couple of weeks as I've started it, I hear a little and it's been throwing a code for a while. But yesterday, it just wasn't having anything to do with it, and I barely got home from the ceremony at the middle school.
Oh,
It was so underpowered because I think and not only one, but I think 2 cylinders were off. So that's going to be going over to a DeGray's for servicing, and I think it's the same thing that happened a few years ago. So the main oil seal in the back of these North Stars, they're known to leak, and half of the ignition wires are there, and after a while they get fouled. So I need new wires, I think, because it's doing the same thing. It progressed.
It's crossed.
It progressed the same way. Still I have to bring it to the garage, and they're not your normal everyday ignition wires in this car either. So of course. That's why you saw the LS out there today.
Oh, jeepers. Oh, yeah, I noticed that. I was going to ask you why that was there.
That's okay. Michael decided to race a BMW yesterday, I think, or it was a Mercedes. Decided to race they come up next to him, and his car has a little pep to it, and he blew out a power steering hose on his way over to the show yesterday. So yeah, a little hubris there on all you guys.
Yeah, I've got the basically the same engine as he does in the LS, but he has the turbo or supercharger on it. So yeah, that LS is actually a cop package. So I've got cop brakes, cop suspension, cop engine.
It's called police.
Yeah. Yeah, that car is basically, if Chevy were to make a police interceptor,
that would be it.
That would be it, yeah. And, I haven't taken it out in a while, and I forgot how much frickin' zip that car has.
Does it?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Huh. It's actually a sleeper. It has the 3800 engine in it. Huh. And that year was the last year they put the 3800 in that line, and that configuration, the LS with the spoiler and the wheels and the engine, only like 15% came off the line that way. So it's.
I'm pretending to know what you meant when you talked about the engine.
Yeah, it's a sleeper.
And that is what?
A car that doesn't look like it'll go fast, but it boogies, and it gets up and goes too. Yeah. I forget all about it, because it sits in the bay of the garage, just in case. It's a good thing I have it, just in case.
It is a good thing you have, yes.
Getting Windows ready. Don't turn off your computer.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven, is this ever going to end? Ever going to end?
This is one of the computers I wanted to put a solid-state hard drive into. Huh. It might be time.
To update, to
keep
get
telling you that.
To
update, to extend its life.
I wish I could do that. Update my body so I could extend my life. I could use an update. But oh well.
There's plenty of doctors in Vegas that can do anything.
Do that. I'd get flying eyebrows and panicky looks on my face. No, thank you. It's okay.
Two biggest things about computers: more memory, because Windows won't run anything less than 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's minimum now, and the old hard drives can't keep up writing data back and forth to the hard drive. So you put in a solid state drive, one of those chip drives. If you can accept the real new ones, the little thin ones, then you do those. If you can't, you buy the 2.5-inch, which is a direct replacement for the spinning drive. But Windows has gotten so complicated that the spinning drives can't keep up anymore.
I think after we deal with the graduations,
yes,
we're going to look at this laptop to figure out what other than when it runs, it does what I need, because this is my studio laptop.
I told the same thing to Rick Barry. He's got an older laptop. I'm like, all it needs is more memory and and a hard drive.
Yeah, and all this.
Usually it's around $90.
All this computer does is it does sound bites during the program,
Yes.
web research,
Yes.
Google, and it gives me control of the sound and the switch if nobody's in the control room.
Now, you have other computers, do you not?
I have 4 desktops. I've got a Southwick desktop at home as well. And I've got...
Well, because of your business, though.
Yeah, and I've got 4 laptops. 4 laptops.
Peter, what about you? How many do you have?
I have 1 desktop, 1 laptop, and a tablet.
Okay.
At home.
I feel like an underachiever
At
here.
home. Yeah. Well, because, I mean, the desktop I use if I'm just working at home all day. The laptop I'll just use when I need it. And then the tablet is if I'm on the road. Like, it's in my car right now. If I want to go somewhere and I need to do something around, like if I go to lunch with somebody and something critically breaks around here, I at least have some kind of computer that I can get in and work on it if I need to from my car.
And I dedicate my equipment to do certain things. So I don't have one general computer like Peter does. I've got one. Okay, this one's only for editing, video editing, only for Adobe. This one's for messing around and trolling. This one's for making digital video transfers, all right? So I don't bog most of my systems down by having a general purpose machine and then having one thing get thrown off that screws it up for everything else. So I'm a little anal retentive when it comes to...
Gotcha. What you
you know, I don't have all these different computers.
I don't do it.
I don't have all these computers to boost my ego. I have them because for me, I feel comfortable having dedicated equipment for everything.
To a certain thing. I can see that with all that you do. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I don't have to do all that. I just mostly do the playwriting. So I don't need anything overly complicated or anything that needs a huge amount of ability or memory. It's just mostly word processing and editing.
And because I haven't used this laptop in a few weeks and it's just sat there, that's why it's getting Windows ready. Normally, I would have set it up at the house beforehand and done all the updating, but life got away from me this past week or two.
I can understand why it did. You just had a few things on your plate. It's been a busy weekend. I started to tell you that last week Peter Miller arranged a walkthrough for some of us that have been involved in establishing a cultural district downtown. And the state still needs to make its final destination. I think it's just a good thing for Westfield. We were involved we had WOW there, we had the Westfield Theater Group, we had Artworks, we had the Athenaeum. We had a lot of different people that did the walk. It was a beautiful day. It was, I think it was Wednesday. And we started out at City Hall and walked all the way. There you go. Walked all the way down Court Street. The district is going to go down Court Street, past the tavern, down to the old burying grounds, and then back around up, is it Chapel Street? I always get Chapel and Church Street. It's Chapel Street off Mechanic.
Chapel.
We walked up
The one way.
Yep.
Where Westfield Bank is.
Yep,
Chapel.
That's the one. We walked up Chapel, pointed out to the people from the state were here, from the Mass Council, the Cultural Council, because they have to make the final okay. And we went to the WOW building and then back down around Church Street. We went down the Church Street Commons. Is that the right word? And then back to City Hall. So it was pretty interesting. So we have the business district, the cultural district, and the historic district are all going to be in the downtown area. So we shall
Are
see what
you
happens.
even going to be around to see this completed?
You smarty pants. Yes, hopefully.
They've been
I
talking
will
about
be.
this for a long time. So
We have been.
It's been like almost
Yes.
almost since the bid went out. It's almost directly related to when the bid
Yeah,
went
that's
out.
part of it. In fact, I was on WOW when we were talking about the bid, Peter, and it sounded like a good deal when it came in, when the bid came in, when the business improvement district came in, and they sold it to us. But, then the rules changed. And
was that at the state level?
I'm not
I
sure.
think it was.
It was a state. It was a state level rule that stated with a bid, all businesses must participate.
Yeah, that was the thing. When
And
they
in
make
the
things
beginning, it
mandatory,
wasn't there.
that's when they make things mandatory, then it becomes a tax.
Yes, and when they sold it to us, Peter, in the beginning, that wasn't the deal. It was just businesses
Right, but that's
that
what I'm
wanted
saying.
to sign in. And then down the road, they started saying, oh, no, everyone in the district has
But that's
to
what I
join.
mean. That's when it becomes a tax.
And that's not fair. That's
Right.
not fair.
I love California, by the way. The revolution is starting in California right now. There's a ballot proposal from a taxpayers group saying if you want to have a tax at the county level or the state level, you have to get 2/3 of the vote, 2/3 of the electorate to vote in, almost like a town meeting. Mm-hmm. And the state of California is literally suing the Taxpayers Association to try to get it removed from the ballot. The question, get it removed from the ballot, by saying it'll starve government of money. And the taxpayers are like, yeah, that's the point.
Well, we'll see.
You guys aren't representing us very well. It's a lighter version of the Tea Party.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know. But with the cultural district, it's not something that people have to. They're not going to have to pay anything. They're not going to sign in. It isn't that kind of thing. But I think that
it's a designation for tax incentives. I think,
and we're also trying to. I don't know that it will happen. Only because so many things are changing in cities. I mean, you know that, Peter. Even Northampton struggles with filling some storefronts.
Oh yeah.
The whole
retail's
business
almost
model's
dead.
gone. Yeah, it is.
Retail's
Yeah, it
almost
is.
dead because of the rise of delivery from a retail
Yeah.
establishment, and the rise of literally. I'm sorry, but we talk about these antitrust and stuff like that. Amazon is an antitrust. Mm-hmm. It is, and it won't be broken up because they give so much money to political candidates. Amazon tries to portray itself as a clearinghouse, but they're basically a trust. It's no different than Standard Oil because they control literally almost all of retail right now.
Mm-hmm. But the availability of online, it just kills our stores.
Yeah.
So the downtown districts, all of them have to reimagine what
Local
their function's
retail.
going to be.
Local retail hasn't existed since the 70s.
It's going to be an issue. So, but anyway, Ken, I do hope that your coming week is a lot better and less expensive.
Probably less expensive, but now I have to
so.
deal with all this.
Yeah, but it's good. It'll be over quickly. You said putting the dishwasher in is easy. I assume you're going to do that yourself?
Yeah, I can probably I'll yank the old one out the night before and have it there because
Now, do you
supposedly they'll take it away because it's a pro account, but
I didn't know they did that. I have the pro account at Home Depot.
Yeah.
I don't go there that often, so I don't know.
Yeah. So if they do, they do. If not, well, I'll already have it outside. And then when the new one comes, they're supposed to take it out of the box and inspect it, and then hook up the waste, the source and power, and then push
And
it
you're
in.
good to
And
go.
there's 2 brackets that hold it in, and that should be it.
You're good to go. Will it fit? It'll fit the spot?
Oh,
They always
crap.
change
Oh,
the
crap.
sizes.
Did you measure?
Uh-oh.
He didn't measure.
Uh-oh.
I wish I had my sound effects here.
I can't believe you would not do that.
No, I did.
There, see?
Yeah, they're all for the most part 24 wide, but it's the height.
Yeah, they love to change things. They did that with the refrigerators. We had to replace our refrigerator. There was no refrigerator anymore that would exactly fit the. I mean, it's okay. We found one close enough, but no.
Yeah. The closest thing to standard is 35-inch tall.
Okay.
So something made me look into all this.
Good. Well, you should.
And, okay, well, I'm 34 and a half.
Oh, no.
No. Let me pull the door down and actually get right up next to the cabinet. 34 and a quarter.
Okay.
34 and a quarter.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Good one.
So now I'm searching specific by height.
Okay.
All right.
Not by width?
Width is 24. That is a
That's
standard.
All right.
18 and 24. So I'm like, why the heck? Okay, so there's 3.25, 3.5, 3.66, or 34.25, 0.5, 0.3, 0.66, and then 35. I'm like, what the hell? Come on, man.
Pick one.
Come on, man.
Pick one.
So
was pretty
there's a quarter inch. There's a quarter inch difference between the one I have now and the one I ordered.
Okay.
With the space up at the top, but when you're, by the time you have it installed and you have the handle sticking out a little bit, you're not even going to notice it.
Mind the gap.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be easier to put in and out. It won't be very tight.
So do you use your dishwasher often?
A couple times a week. 2 times a week maybe. But I don't have room to do dishes. Because you have to have a drying rack and room to put this stuff. I don't have it.
Why?
Appliances.
Oh, yes. The king of appliances here.
Gadgets.
Well, the microwave and the air fryer are kind of important. They're used every day.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to ask you guys. Air fryers.
Love mine.
What do you cook in it?
Oh, I cook everything in it.
Like what? Like
I've cooked a steak in it. Wait.
I
made a ham steak.
How do you cook steak in a
Remember, it's a
Mine's more like an oven.
It's
though.
a mini convection oven.
Convection.
Convection. Convection.
Mine has trays that I can slide in and out. So on the top tray, I'll put the protein, which takes a longer time to cook, and on the bottom tray, I'll usually put the starch.
So you upgraded since that last one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So how do the steaks come out?
Actually, not bad.
That doesn't sound good. Not bad. That doesn't sound good.
Well, if you want something just a one-stop cooker,
okay.
Boom, you're good. And actually, it's not the greatest sear, but it's also not. It cooks it pretty well because mine can air fry, it can bake. It can do convection.
Yeah, that's what I bought.
It can do dehydration. I bought one at Christmas time from Walmart. It was like $60.
Is it the XL brand? Something like that.
It's some off-brand, but it's basically they're all made at the same place.
That's what mine is. It's convection. It's air fry. It defrosts. It makes your coffee and feeds your cats. It does everything. But
yep, it's wonderful. I really enjoy mine mainly because I'm if I'm making a quick meal for myself. That's what it.
I kept meaning to ask you guys because you've talked about them frequently.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with it.
I do nuggets and French fries, but
okay. Well, do the nuggets come out soggy?
No.
The original air fryers they did, but not anymore.
Yeah, I take cooking spray and I spray both sides of the nuggets before I put them on the tray.
What about chicken? Have you tried chicken?
What kind of chicken?
Just like
mine apparently
like
do
a breast?
a whole chicken.
No.
You do a whole chicken?
I've done.
It's got the attachment.
I've done chicken fingers, chicken tenders.
Yeah.
That I've made from scratch, and they came out good.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I think is awesome at least the air fryers that you have where you have the tray and not the basket.
Yeah, mine tray.
I have the tray and the basket.
Reheating pizza.
Yeah, that's what my husband wanted to
and
do. He hates reheating it.
I do put foil underneath the pizza just to keep cheese from dripping over the edge.
Yeah, I do that with burgers.
How do you heat it? You just...
Heat
350, bake it.
350 for like 5 minutes, and it's like it just came out of the box.
I'll have to try
I'll never nuke another slice of pie
Yeah,
again.
we were tending to use like the oven for the reheating the pizza, but then you dry it out. I don't like it in the microwave.
Yeah, have to
'cause
preheat.
it's soggy and soupy.
So the one that I bought is called the Gourmet.
Gourmet. Okay.
14-quart air fryer.
That's a Best Buy brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's also a Walmart brand.
Yeah, my Best Buy.
It was $50. I'm like, for $50, I'll take a flyer on $50.
My Best Buy instant pot knockoff pressure cooker is a Gourmet.
I think ours was a little more than that, Peter, so I don't think that's the brand we had, but we did get it at Walmart because my microwave, and we'd had the microwave forever. That was like 20 years old.
Oh, I just replaced my microwave this weekend, too.
No. I'm not sitting next to you. I don't want this to catch. I don't want you near me. Stay away.
Oh, there's
Is there
a reason.
anything in your house that's working?
Okay. Let me
Wait.
Let me.
This is what I bought.
Let me explain, Lucy.
No, that's not what mine looks like.
All right.
That's what mine looks like.
Okay,
It'll do
that's
pretty
cool.
much everything.
Yeah, mine's the same concept as that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mine looks more like a micro. If you looked at it, you'd think it was a microwave. But it's not. It does everything. It brushes my teeth for
Yeah.
me.
Let me explain, Lucy.
All right, go
All
ahead.
right, so
Ricky.
I also did Lucy. I also.
Don't look, Ethel. It's too late. He doesn't run around the corner in his gym shorts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Speak, Ken. We'll be quiet.
So I've been going through the past couple of weeks doing the deep clean, right? And over the past week or two, I did the kitchen. And I'm looking at the microwave. And I'm like, I've had this microwave ever since I moved out of my house.
You got a lot of use out of it then.
All right. It's a huge, gargantuan commercial Panasonic with wood grain decoration taped to it, right? I mean, it's a beast, all right? It was built in 85.
No way. They didn't make them then, did they?
They made them in the 70s even, but
Holy moly.
Amana came out, the first one. They called it a radar range.
I remember
Yep.
the radar range.
Yeah, so this was built in 1985. It's a Panasonic Genius commercial microwave. And a few years ago, the latch just started to wear out. So now I need to push the latch, and I have to.
Yes, that's exactly what we did.
So I use
Exactly.
Is it funny that the only thing that wears out is the latch?
So I use that as an excuse because now I'm looking at the. Okay, everything here is new and clean. All the new appliances are coming in black stainless now. And I'm looking at that big honking microwave. You know what? I'm already this deep into everything. I'm going to do a debt transfer in a month and put everything into zero interest for 21 months. Let me look into the microwave. So I found a microwave Memorial Day special. I forget. It might have been even Home Depot. And they delivered it the following morning for free. But it was a 1.6 cubic foot, 1,100 watt unit. And it's nice. And it's all solid black. So it's going to match the new dishwasher that's going in.
Is that you?
No, that's not me.
It's not me.
Oh, no, it's not me.
I don't have anything. I have nothing here.
Yeah. So, it's $100.
At the point you were this
At the
week,
point I was at, I'm like, why not?
Why
I'm tired of dealing with that damn
Why
handle
not?
on the microwave.
It's funny you said that because that's exactly what went on ours. The plastic push in and it would pop off, and then you'd have to get a pen and you'd have to push it in and hold the door.
Oh, well, mine, the linkage just wore out because
Yep.
the freaking thing was made in 1985.
This would pop off and you'd have to find it on the floor and hope the cats didn't get it before you found it.
I don't have that problem.
And I finally said to Terry, I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm done. And he said, well, what's the problem? You just push it in. I said, no, I'm done. It's going.
So you probably saw me working on this laptop.
Now what's it doing?
So after a while, I figure it's just stuck in a loop. So I remove the electric and I remove the battery.
I saw you doing that. I didn't know.
So now I'm at cleaning up. Don't turn off your computer.
Okay, then.
There you go.
Well, what else can I buy?
Maybe you should have stayed in bed today. Maybe you should just.
I'm considering getting a toaster because now they're digital.
Oh, jeez.
They have a digital display on them now.
Here we
Seriously?
go.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Honestly.
But plus mine, it doesn't. I need to take a pair of tongs to stick into.
Oh no!
You said
No! Don't do that.
They're plastic.
I don't care. Don't do those things. Okay. You were definitely going to get the finger today. You were definitely.
Well, I'm definitely getting another toaster because last night I broke down and said, okay, $30, I'll just get it.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
It's already on order.
I couldn't stop.
I think we need to stage an intervention, Peter.
Oh, I'm just as bad.
We need. Really? Oh, no.
Come on, I was sticking tongs into my toaster in order to retrieve whatever was toasted.
Help us. People out there, I know, you're sympathizing with me, aren't you? Saying, what on earth are you going to do with this man?
I was looking at the.
Is there anything left you need to buy?
Well,
I've got my outdoor speakers mounted, by the way, for next to the pool.
After I sliced off part of my finger with the mandolin last year, I haven't really used it all that much. But there's this cool. It's like a mandolin on an angle. And then you have a hopper and you feed stuff into it and you push the mandolin down without getting anywhere near the blade and it chops it.
I would still get a chainmail glove.
This is a handle. It's a different. It's like on an angle and it slices that way. So I'm thinking about getting that. It's only like $28.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, sure.
Well, but because I want to start having more. Like slicing onions and pickle. I want to start making pickles and things like that. So
I'm very good with my knife cuts. So like
I am too.
My sauerkraut, I use a knife to make. I don't use a processor to shred it. I knife cut my own sauerkraut.
Is that hard to do?
No, you just have to have good knife skills,
which I do not have. So God bless you.
Which I can show off next door, and I actually have proper knife usage. I do the claw with the hand that feeds.
Do you make that too, Peter?
What? Sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut,
no.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking if he does the claw.
Oh well, he probably does. Who knows? Who knows with you?
I don't know if he wipes off half his finger on a mandolin. Maybe he doesn't.
So, are there any more gadgets you need to buy?
That's what I'm trying to. That's this whole past 40 minutes. This is me talking through it to see if there's anything else I really want to deal with now.
Starlink launch delayed to 10:24 a.m.
We're not even going to be live.
I know. It's a lot harder to watch those now on X.
How many? Do you know what you have in your house for?
I know what I have. I know what I have.
Roughly how many?
I want to get rid of my crock pots.
I've got 3.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
wait,
I don't
what,
use them.
3?
I haven't used a crock pot in years.
What do
It's
you
time
do
for-
with 3 crock pots?
Each one has its own use.
What?
They're different sizes.
Oh. Well,
So, depending on what you're cooking, you use the appropriate sized crock pot because then it's more efficient. It cooks better.
I kept my
This
dip.
is like the laptops, isn't it?
I kept my dip crock pot.
I'm
My
not.
little tiny one,
I'm seeing a
the
pattern
hot
here.
dips. My crock pot for the hot
Oh,
dips. It's got
okay.
2 sides to it, and you can put like a cheese dip or something like hot dips.
Yeah.
You can put those in the little crock pot, and
Fondue.
it continues to keep them warm.
Yeah, fondue.
Now, what is your favorite crock pot recipe?
So I've got Well, I'll go there in a second, but
people are probably going, "What are they talking about?"
I really like Alton Brown, and I agree with most of the things that he says.
Multitaskers?
But I do have multitaskers, or I have non-multitaskers. What does he call it? A unitasker. I have unitaskers.
And that would be what?
A kitchen device that can only do one thing.
Okay. Of which I have none of. Absolutely none of. I have a toaster. I have the oven.
So you have multitaskers.
I have a blender.
I have some multitaskers that I use as
It.
unitaskers.
That's all I have. I have nothing else for a gadget.
No.
Nothing.
No, unitaskers
Give
end
me
up coming out of a couple of my multitaskers. But heck, my immersion circulator, that's a unitasker.
Your what?
I'm going to let that one sit.
Wait a minute. You have one too. What else can the immersion circulator be utilized for?
What is that?
It's to sous vide.
Yeah, it's a sous vide.
Okay.
It's a heating element with a pump on it,
Okay.
and it circulates at a very specific temperature, and it holds at that temperature.
Okay. And what do you cook in there?
Meat.
You got to understand here, you're talking to somebody who
Meat.
fries toast.
I vacuum seal meat, and I'll put it in, and I'll get it a perfect temperature. I let my cuts go for 8 hours, because you bring it up to like 120. I don't know, 128 for some of these cuts, and you just bring it to that temperature and then holding it for hours. So it's smacznego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have I ever heard of doing that? No.
We've talked about sous vide.
Yes, you have.
Before.
Yes, you have talked about sous vide. That reminds me, is the chef coming in?
Sous vide, I think that means underwater in French, or under pressure water or something. I don't know.
I don't. How do you spell it?
SOUS.
Under a vacuum.
Under vacuum, yeah.
Sous is under. S-O-U-S
Under a
is
vacuum.
under. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I assume you do that too, Peter?
Yeah.
Interesting. What kind of meats do you do it with?
Just about anything.
So beef, chicken.
Chicken is awesome coming out of
beef, chicken, pork, some pork chops. What I do is I marinate them, vacuum seal them, and then I'll let them sit for like a day, so they marinade can like penetrate a little bit, and then I cook them. So I have a steak in the fridge that's ready to go for tonight. That'll sous vide for a couple hours, and then sear it off real quick and have dinner. Call it a day.
Does it get really juicy? Is that why you do that?
That's why you do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it keeps it. The other thing is it doesn't overcook. Like even on a stove, you can overcook a steak in the flash of really quickly.
Half a minute.
In a sous vide, you keep it at a constant temperature so you don't overcook it, and then you flash sear it really quick on a hot pan just to get a little color on it.
It's called a reverse sear.
Okay. I gotcha.
I find it great for because I'm by myself. I individually portion everything, so I bought like a big thing of steak from BJ's, four steaks, and I just portion them out and seal them all individually. Buy small bags.
What cut did you buy?
I think I bought New York strip.
Okay.
But you can buy tougher cuts. Like I bought basically what is essentially a bottom round roast. It's a pot roast.
Yeah, you can take London broil and cook it a certain way with a sous vide, and it'll cut with a butter knife.
I don't have trouble
I did a
with
pot
London
roast.
broil.
I did a bottom round roast, pot roast. I cooked it for 24 hours at 131 degrees, which kept it right at medium. And the next day I did a reverse sear on it, and then I cut it up, and my girlfriend thought it was prime rib.
Yeah, I'll get one of those roasts, and I'll go about 8 hours or so on the sous vide at, I think, 133, 134, somewhere around there. And then I cool it off. And then I thin slice it, and it's just like the roast beef you get at the deli counter
Interesting.
at the market, where I just paid $3.99 a pound, and it's $15 a pound at the deli.
Oh, I know. Well, no, I don't know because I don't buy a lot of meat. I don't.
You have a whole fridge full of meat. I'm not talking about the cats.
That's different freezer all
Different freezer?
Totally different freezer. But it's the top round I never know what to do with. Top round is so tough. I just
Not
don't
with
know
sous
what
vide.
to
Not
do
with a
it.
sous vide. You just cook it long period of time. And what it does is it keeps breaking down the tough parts of the meat, and it makes it tender.
Yeah, I've gone online. I've looked up every recipe I could possibly find, and I've tried them all, and I just. Ugh.
Yeah,
Yep, come over to our side of the street.
The only way it's good, Peter, is after you've cooked it. Then the next day, when you slice it thin and put it in a salad, it's really good.
You can slice
the
it
only way
thin
I like it.
initially and do a quick marinade, but you can use a technique called velveting, and you might be able to get some pretty good results that way with that cut of meat.
What is that?
Velveting is a Asian way of preparing meat for quick searing over high heat. That you know how the steak and the chicken, when you get Chinese food, it has a different texture than anything else that you are familiar with. That's because it went through a process called velveting, which basically cornstarch and egg whites.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Although I do like Chinese food. I had it yesterday.
Yeah. Look at this, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
No chef.
We're just basically a little bit past 9 o'clock. We're at the sound of the tone. It will be 9:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Boop.
Boop. There you go.
All right. So I don't know if our guest is actually going to show up. They did confirm the other day. That's not what WWV sounds like.
No, it's WTIC, time tone.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we have had him here.
Yeah, and
Had anybody here? So it'll be
Did you
great to
remind
have
him?
well, we were texting late at night when
Did you remind
was-
him this morning?
When he was in Brussels and I was in Vegas, and it was late at night. We were just chatting. We were both awake. And then 2 days ago, we did a reminder. Oh yeah, you're here. And he mentioned that he wanted to be here because he pre-taped something for Mass Appeal today.
Oh, he's on his way. Moving traffic on Route 20, be right there.
Oh, okay.
He's stuck in the construction zone for the school.
Oh, okay.
on
The
Kansas
sidewalk.
Street.
The
Yeah.
sidewalk
I'm sure that's
stuff
what
over
it
there,
is.
Yeah. All right. Oh,
Well, he's listening.
Well,
he's within range of the transmitter. That's a good sign.
well, he really was one that never really got here early, though.
That all depends.
Yeah, I always seem to remember him running in right at the last moment. But hey, that works for me. We do have a guest, and it's appropriate because we've been talking about food. See how that button works?
I did the button.
And it works.
My allergies are terrible lately. I went
Oh,
out.
God, they're brutal.
Oh my God, we were down at the.
My eyes hurt.
We were at the Irish. Now, Ken and I both get shots for this, Peter. You know,
I don't.
We should be okay. Well, sort of okay, but we were down at the Irish Club in your neighborhood, and I literally couldn't breathe. I thought I was gonna choke because something was blowing around.
It's a tree pollen right now.
Oh my
The tree.
Lord
Look
in
at
heaven.
how lush the trees are this year. The tree pollen is brutal. The tree. It only took an hour.
It only took an hour.
An hour.
The trees are very lush this year, and everything's growing like weed, and it's brutal right now. It's absolute. My eyes hurt.
I get up in the morning. My eyes are swollen. I look like I haven't gotten sleep in 4 days, and my nose starts running. And holy moly! And that's with the shots and with the Zyrtec. And now they're haying out there, and it's just, please God, save me from this. But you're right. The trees are flourishing. The lawns are growing. It's lawn mowing time. I have to go out and trim the yard today. I've got too much to do. I've got to write a script for something going on at Mutton and Mead. Do you know what Mutton and Mead
Yeah,
is?
we discussed that the other week.
I have to come up with some kind of entertainment for that. I don't know what. But I will get it done.
And I have a pool to disassemble.
Yes, you do. And you have a dishwasher coming.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
And I have to deal with the green rocket. Hey, why don't we do my top of the hour, and then once we're done with that, we may be set to go.
All righty.
Burn down the store, take what you want and more. Shop until you drop, voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies, no sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall, voodoo consumer take it all. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank, kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Too late, voodoo consumer terminus. Eat this, drink this, try this, buy this, wear this, buy this, play this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. 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 Fabulous.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Okay, wow, it's been a while.
Where'd he go?
It sure has. I can't even remember the last time we saw you.
I'm trying to see Peter, so this way I've got Peter below Kenny, and it's perfect.
Are you talking into a microphone?
Oh, not yet. Here we go. It's been a little while. Here we go. Hello.
There we
hello,
go. Much
hello.
better.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Now I can see you.
Do you remember how this works?
Yep. Now I do. Well, I did. See, I was looking for Peter, and I couldn't see him here, so then in that way I'm not looking at you guys, but now I can see you guys and Peter.
That's why I put that there.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
I love the
I have to
improvement.
go back and forth.
There are some words back and forth
You
between
need a camera here. TV over there, and then you can just look straight ahead.
There were words back and forth between Peter and I when I initially did that.
Because you took my clock.
Oh, okay, the world clock from up top there.
And then you proceeded to fill it up with more junk up there.
Yeah, storage. Yeah, that's off camera.
All right, children.
But I also had it on top of the rolling cart, too, which pissed them off. And then, okay, you know what? I'll just put the table here, and if we need to take it down for something, we take it down. No big deal.
Okay, so we have company.
Yeah, look at this.
Company.
Chef John
Back in the
Slattery.
rug. We have not had you in a very long time, Chef. Welcome back. We're glad to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Always happy to be back.
Mm-hmm. You've been posting a lot of fancy food on social media. And well, fancy to us because it's stuff that we don't normally see or eat around here.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what? What'd you see?
You've been putting up a lot of pastries and stuff like that for pictures.
Well, if I put up a picture of a pastry, it's because I'm sitting somewhere relaxing and I didn't make it.
I'm not talking about you making it. I'm talking about enjoying it.
Where have you been?
Here and there, everywhere, up and down, and back
I've
again.
been here and there. You have not been here and there. You have definitely been there. So share with us where there is. I never know where you are.
I think the last time you and I chatted, Chef, on Messenger or whatever, you were actually you were in between two different places because I was at a nightclub in Vegas, and it wasn't quite night enough. It was only around midnight or so, and it was just starting to get busy. So I'm killing time on the phone, and you're, what, plus 7 hours, something like that?
Central European time, right? I think Vegas might be 8.
From here to Vegas, it's 4. So from here to EU is 6. So, all right, so 10. So, it's, late morning for Chef, and we're just chatting, and I think you were on a train between...
I may have been a train or a bus. Yeah, it's been really neat to experience the different cuisines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So where were you?
Most of the time I'm in Brussels, which is the melting pot of Europe, kind of, sort of, because it's the capital of the European Union, and so there's people from all over the EU there, your representatives and stuff like that, like a big, huge operation.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it's the capital of Europe, there's representatives from all these other parts of the globe because they want their say with their deals with Europe. So literally, it's a super international city, Ken. So
I haven't heard it explained that way or described that way.
I haven't either, but why were you there? Why did you go there?
Well, I met somebody in all of this in these travels that invited me to go along over there, and it's been a really amazing adventure.
I don't meet people
of food and
who invite me to
cuisine
go to Europe.
and exposure to new opportunities to cook for other people and to really just see what food is like around the world.
That's fabulous.
Where can I find someone to invite me to Southeast Asia?
Yeah. Keep looking.
That's on the bucket list. I'm doing Vietnam.
Well, you guys known me a long time. I believe in the
point.
power of alignment, and as we continue to live our life in our truest alignment to what we're supposed to do, the things that we're supposed to have find us.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope.
And how do we do that, John?
Huh?
How do we find our alignment to begin with?
Believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it that simple?
It really is. It really is that simple.
Really?
If you can truly believe in yourself.
Uh-huh. I can't believe in anyone
Sometimes
else.
you got to be able to step off the cliff too.
Well, and
take the risk.
The trust in the things, whatever they talk about path or dharma or something. When you can kind of figure out what it is you think you're supposed to do, do it.
Right.
And just the more we go within ourselves to know ourselves, what we really want and desire, then we know who we really are. And that when we live for that, then all the things we really need come to us.
Kathy, I'm asking all this because this is one of the happiest people I know right now.
Well,
I mean, You're always full of energy.
Peter, science calls it quantum physics.
You always appear as an optimist when you're putting posts up on social media, no matter what's going on in your life. It's always graciousness and abundance. And
well, the good things and what we call bad things are lessons. And so when bad things happen or things that we don't understand happen for a reason in any of our lives, it's what can we find is the good thing in it.
Okay, Kathy, what's the good thing about what happened to me this past weekend?
You have learned that stuff happens.
Well, there we go. And unfortunately, they're very painful lessons in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's that easy.
Sometimes it's the fact that I'm a cheap Pollock and I think I should get more than 20 years out of a dishwasher.
At my age, John, what I have learned is that, first of all, I'm very fortunate because I ended up with my life's work being something that I have a real passion for, that I loved every day of doing what I did, that I still love. I was just complaining to Ken, whining that I have to go and write something, but that's where I'm happiest, and I know that I'm good at it, and I love doing it. So I'm very, very fortunate. There was never a day that I got up and went, I don't want to go to work. That never happened.
That's fantastic.
Maybe I didn't want to get up, but it wasn't the job. I just wanted to stay in bed. So I've learned at my point in life, and yes, I have had some very cataclysmic events, and some of my close friends, like Ken, know exactly what I've gone through. But what I've learned is, and it sounds simplistic, stuff happens, and you can't control it. And you know what? Don't laugh, but my mantra really, truly is, no matter what happens, the sun will still shine, the world will still turn, and I still have too many cats.
Kathy.
But the sun did not stop shining because so-and-so did something to me. The world is not going to stop turning because I ended up in ER, or because my washing machine broke, or because my cellar leaks, or my car broke down, or my daughter got mad at me. It's going to keep going. The world doesn't really care that I did that.
Correct.
So you just have to say, it doesn't mean that I don't get concerned with things. I do. I do. But I have to put them where they haven't. In the last 10 or 15 years, I've had some pretty hard things handed to me, but it's okay. It's okay. I will keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And the more people, there's simple little practices that can help us look at the world in different ways. How each situation relates to me right now, me and other people, me in the community, and me in the world. And so if we take a quick second to just, it's not just me and me right now. I'm not alone.
Me's not very big.
Yeah, we're all just part of a very big thing. And as all the things that we actually need, it goes back to that, like the food stuff, too. Is all the things we ever really needed as humans were really close to where the humans lived. Globalization has changed that. Technology has changed that. But like the original system that seemed to be happening here on Earth was like this stuff that this being needs is related to its place in the sun and the climate where it lives, and those things grow there to make it happy. And all that kind of stuff seems to have some sort of system. And globalization has changed the game immensely, and technology has changed the game, and the Terminators, I don't know, all these different things are very interesting scenarios, right, we got going on out there. But what else can we do but live right now to the best that we've got and see something worth seeing?
Your week is going to be better.
Yeah,
your dishwasher, you'll get a new dishwasher, or you know what, Ken, you might have to wash your dishes by hand.
No room for that.
You can do it.
It's got too much stuff.
You can do it. You only need 2 feet of countertop, you know?
Don't have it.
Where do you prep? Where do you cut your food?
On my island.
Well, then that's where the dishes go while they dry. You're not going to be drying. You're not going to be cutting food and drying.
That's my kitchen table, too.
You eat where you cut your food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I stand up. I don't sit down.
Is it only a one-person island? Are you that much?
A haunted one.
Of a misogynist?
Gilligan is kicking around it somewhere.
Oh, my goodness.
Here we are waxing philosophical on the den. Oh my!
That's a scary point to come to. But you were in Brussels.
I was in Brussels.
And how long were you there?
A lot, on and off over the last year. Yeah, pretty much.
I see you there quite frequently.
It started in July of last year, my first trip. Well, because this whole travel to the United States thing led to travel to Mexico thing, led to travel to Europe thing, led to travel around Europe thing. So it's been really following the breadcrumbs and seeing what's there. And I'm really got this great.
It's funny that you say that because with you, you're literally following breadcrumbs.
Literally, like croissants. How do they make the croissants in the different cities in the world is an interesting, or try and get a cup of coffee, because coffee means something else entirely in Europe, and it's different in every city, town.
Why?
Explain, Lucy.
Because it's espresso, or maybe an Americano, or maybe you do say says cafe on the menu.
Well, Americano is
espresso
with
water.
Yeah.
But there's so many different ways to do it, and then if you want milk, then it's Olé or con leche but it doesn't come that way. They don't serve it with.
He's already talking multiple languages here with the coffee too, instead of just.
I
caught on to that.
Point, yeah. and I can't even say it in any of the other languages. So but at least.
Can I get coffee in New Zealand?
Yes.
I'm not going.
Well, you'll get. It's there. You just have to know how to. So the best one I ever had, and I can't tell you. I have to look back in the records to see what city it was in. But they serve it all separate. So I had hot water, cold water, the espressos, sugar, and some creamer things.
Mm-hmm.
So you could then figure out how you wanted your coffee.
Mm-hmm. I heard him mention con leche. And
I was just recently in Barcelona, so.
Also, it makes me think of a very popular way of them doing. And I'm not a coffee drinker, but I really want to try this style out when I'm in Southeast Asia. It's sweetened condensed milk that they use.
I have they make that. They put that in those Thai bubble teas. That's that. So they make that orange Thai tea, and then they add the sweetened condensed milk to it, and then they put the boba type things in there, the tapioca thing, and it's delicious.
Oh yeah.
It's like a meal.
Did we go off the track on you, Kathy?
Well, we got into food at least.
No. Right. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm interested in the coffee.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting. It is. So for me, this is it. I'm living the life of the dreams that I had about things to do. I'm seeing beautiful places and being able to catalog and compare things so that I can tell other people about it. And
see, most of us dream about that when we're going to retire. You're nowhere near retiring, though.
Well, we have when an opportunity arises, we have to follow them. And especially if it really feels like it's a thing to do. And I've always been trying to figure out, since I just knew that I wasn't supposed to be in a restaurant in one place anymore, and then I did the traveling chef thing. But the gigs are sporadic, and it was it's been amazing opportunities continue to grow and grow, and so now it's taken me on to a new level. But why not host a traveling show about these places, or to cook in the different places in the world, or arrange, and so
people have done that. His name is Andrew Zimmern.
It's been done before, but I don't know. It feels like something good to me. Also, tour guide. I could take you to a city and tell you what to eat and where to eat, or if we shouldn't eat any of the food and you want to just be in that city, then I cook for you. And then, so there's lots of cool opportunities for the kind of.
I kind of get that too, because since the pandemic and my life changed, different work after 24 years. I'm essentially doing 4 different things for work right now. I have yet, since I've changed over to doing this, I have yet to wake up in the morning or dread waking up in the morning saying, oh my God, what fresh hell am I up against today? I don't hate what I do. And I kind of get that, because you're way past that point now. You're living and enjoying a good life right now.
Well, it's hard. I got to wonder when that next gig's gonna come, or otherwise I just live in poverty, for that period of time until I.
And you've accepted that, and you know how to deal with it, though.
Yeah. And I've done my best to help support everybody I can along the way, and my kids are all really happy. And, it's more opportunities continue to show up, so I'm looking forward to the next things, and maybe that book about some of these adventures will come out one of these days or something, that I have a little more peace and support to grow that.
Yeah. You see, Kathy, if money wasn't an issue with me, I'd be following him around Europe because I'm good behind the camera. For something like that, he'd be good in front of the camera.
That would be true. You could do
I would have a blast doing some type of programming.
So this
like
has only been a few months, so I'm hoping to find somebody to work with, or people to work with in different locations that have time, so that we can then monetize some of these things that I could be doing.
Yeah,
you might have to learn how to do some of it on your own though, because I know somebody that's doing it.
Doing what? Doing what?
The
Peter?
travel, like traveling abroad, and the person started out as an English speaking teacher in other countries, like in Far East Asia and stuff like that, and then kind of slowly but surely morphed it into a travel thing and is working with partnerships and social media partnerships and. But she shoots her own video.
Yeah, and I can do that too. It's just I'm not sure that's what it is. This is just I'm talking to you guys right now with the cool, amazing, possible opportunities that I don't know where they're headed.
Well, that documentary type style is my favorite thing to shoot.
It's so amazing, and I find so many things fascinating. And I wanted to be a professor of humanities. That was my goal, Kathy, to be a teacher. And so, what is humanities? Can you explain to people what humanities class in school would teach?
I have no idea what they teach in humanities.
No.
Oh, what, are you asking the teacher something?
No.
Class is in session.
I have
it's
no
Westfield
idea.
historian extraordinaire Kathy Palmer.
89.5.
I couldn't explain it. Remember,
Turn up your volume.
I'm third grade.
Oh,
I'm just third grade. I couldn't explain that, so go for it.
Well, humanities is the class where they teach you the cross section of history and art and life. Life.
I knew that art was involved, and I knew that history, but
and
I
literature,
didn't know
and all the things that make up the human experience. And so, that's been my passion. And so, food was the easiest way I knew how to make people happy. Making people happy is my biggest goal. And so I've been doing that for a long time, and that's just allowed me to make bigger and stronger connections and grow into all these beautiful things. It's
not that different from what I do.
Yeah. No. Well, you change people's lives, these little third.
Yes, Kathy, I moved it because that's where it should be.
I know, but it's dropping. It dropped.
No, I dropped it. I moved it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now you're talking into it instead of over the top of it. Trust me. I see what it's doing.
All right.
Robot
I pretend to know what I'm doing here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Optimum word.
But I've always said, you're talking about humanities, though, John, when we do our shows, I have said to my cast that they have the greatest job in the world, because their job is to go out there for the next 2 hours or whatever and just engage people in what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It might be a sad play, it might be a happy play, it might be funny, but it makes them come into my world that for those 2 hours, they're not thinking about their bills at home. They're not thinking about, I didn't make the bed this morning. They're not thinking, oh my God, I forgot to vacuum. My car needs an oil change. They're just immersed in some kind of entertainment, and to entertain and to make people happy and enjoy what they're doing at that moment is honestly the best job in the world, and not a lot of people can do it.
I love that, Kathy.
It's true.
And that brings up for me, I love doing it for 13 years now. I've been doing mass appeal segments, and for 10 of those years, it was every month. So 10-minute segments for hours and hours. Mm-hmm. My favorite part of every single bit of that is the 30 seconds of information that somebody hears that they can use again and again and again, a trick that I learned or a tip that I can pass on, that they hear while they're in the dentist's office or waiting where the show is on as background noise and commercial television, but they get 30 seconds of information from me. That's really
that's the important thing with that type of programming. You need to include those hints and tips in order to both engage, but also look like you know what you're talking about, but to educate people. You see, I thought you were going to go in a different direction then. I get that. I get the educating end of it, but I think one of the coolest parts of those segments you do is the reveal. All right, let's, through the magic of television, take it out of the oven and see what we have now.
I try not to do that if at all possible. But when I'm actually being good at my job for that, then I have that.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the, so Peter, as you,
okay, if not the reveal, the final plating at the end, where you.
That's awesome. I always love putting the last plate together.
Yeah.
I forgot. So funny as you say that. At about 11:50 or something today, you'll see that I forgot the plate for the final thing. And Patrick has to get me one.
Oh, really? All right. So you mentioned something there, but let's actually mention what's going on at around 11:50. Actually, it's happening at 11. The first one
sometime between 11 and 11:20.
11:10,
I don't know when it's.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm pre-recorded on TV today, and you'll get to see it on Mass Appeal.
Yeah, through the magic of
you're
television.
Not there.
No.
Did you at least
but they might be, and they could even have the same.
Did you at least wear the same clothes so that if someone's watching this now?
Almost. Actually, I might have.
Yeah.
Or you can do like Ken.
But I want to get back to this stuff, the things that I'm Peter. So I've been involved in the nerdy side of this stuff since I was like 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And production and stuff like that, and I'm meeting interesting people who know things about some of this stuff, and what it takes to produce things for higher level things, and now I even did last year with a gentleman in the local area. I shot something for Springfield, like local, but he's trying to get stuff on Amazon TV and things like that. So like there's a whole world. There's
probably David Horgan.
And I heard of things like there's channels on Roku. Somebody was telling me where there's thousands. So there's spots for these things that can get what people subscribe to them. So you make a little money off of it. Things that the
market's but right now the market's getting oversaturated.
I imagine that. So, but I'm just really enjoying it. So if I with one-on-ones and groups for cooking, but my cooking skills and showing them locations and stuff like that is going to be great.
Tutorials and unboxing videos are really popular. They still are.
Tutorials.
You know what I mean? But a cooking segment is a tutorial.
Yeah. So and I think
that's what it is.
If people enjoy my Mass Appeal segments, if I produced a 10-minute segment twice a week or something like that, or I even thought it's fun.
We tried that years ago with your sons.
Yeah, it
Remember
takes
we did the backyard?
It takes two people for most of that.
Effort.
For like a real on-location shooting. Although nowadays we're getting better with those gyros on a tripod and things like that, so you can kind of get your shots.
I just ordered an Osmo Pocket 3.
Imagine that.
From DJI.
So
wait.
It's a little mini
doing
camera.
It again?
It's
a mini camera,
and it's supposedly the cat's meow. It has a 1-inch sensor in it. I mean, I can't wait to play with it. I should have it in about another week or two.
That's what you need. More
I saw
toys.
some YouTubers using it on our cruise. They were shooting something on the Caribbean Princess. Yeah, I saw them all over the ship, and I'm like, they have to be YouTubers. The shots that they were getting. Mm-hmm. I was watching them. The shots that they were getting, they were professional.
Are you talking about the DJI I just mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's a cat's meow. This
it's
thing.
A little handheld thing. It's no bigger than my phone.
You guys lost me a while ago. I'm thinking about traveling the world again.
Thank you, John.
Well, you mentioned
I just wanted to be clear.
This to me all the time.
The tech got too deep for me, way too fast.
Well, you mentioned you were into the nerdy stuff.
Yeah, well,
John, it's got a little. It's a handheld thing. It's got its own battery. It's got a little head on it, a little camera sensor.
I saw somebody with one of those around the ancient chapel in Brussels.
And you can move it.
It's literally this big, the head on it. And I'm like, oh my god, I'll bet the quality on that thing's amazing.
And it acts as a gimbal.
And it acts as a gimbal because you can move it with your thumb.
There's a beautiful.
This one tracks itself too. It has that tracking capability.
Yeah, I had.
And it has a screen where you flip the orientation and it changes the orientation of how you shoot too. So
yeah. Sure was one of those things run out of my budget.
700.
Yeah. They can get them as low as like 500.
Yeah, I got the creator package. Yeah.
But anyway, my
All right,
yeah.
That's how you need to do a professional shoot now.
Yeah, it is amazing. I've seen like whole movies are being recorded on cell phones these days in Hollywood and shit like that.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Stuff. Stuff.
The stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are you preparing on Mass Appeal in a few hours?
What did we make?
Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
You made a 40-minute video of you prepping.
Yeah,
so.
right. My butt. And then I remember to turn the camera, and then that was still my butt. I turned but anyway, I was just I'm experimenting with all these. The possibilities are endless, and what's really funny is the time difference puts my making lunch at everybody waking up here. And so, like, alive then is like, oh, well, people are drinking their coffee. And and sometimes I could be making breakfast again for, the benefit of people that are watching for lunch. Yeah, interesting stuff.
This is what Kenny bought.
Yeah, I saw somebody at one of those filming.
Oh, I've seen.
And that's exactly where I bought it from, but I got a better price because of the account I have.
It's a 1,000-year-old cathedral with a 2,000-year-old chapel in the basement, and I saw somebody like going around with that thing.
I wondered what those were. I've seen them.
Yeah, they've been out for about half a year now, and I wanted to make sure that they were proven before I ordered one. I got a little giddy when I saw it at the electronics show. All right, this area now, and
so what I made on TV was
okay.
I was about to announce, so we got
squirrel.
Oh yeah. No, that was the game dinner with the school a couple years ago. That
Good one.
squirrel and wild mushroom casserole. Was
I have
great.
actually
segue right in.
I have actually shot and eaten squirrel.
Well,
I ate squirrel as a kid.
It's beefy. I mean,
all the time. My mother made a stew out of it. And we had company over, and she said, "Oh, this chicken is delicious."
Oh well,
and I
in Europe,
remember my mother looking at my father and saying, "Should we tell her?"
I haven't seen squirrel in the grocery store yet, but there's so many other animals that you can see. Like, I mean, the access to things we don't normally see, like horse or goat readily available, and like all lots of different types
around the Mediterranean with
rabbits and Venice, all kinds of different.
Yeah, and I'm getting into that after we finish up the
access to duck is ridiculous. Yeah. The price difference is amazing. Yeah. So anyway, on Mass Appeal,
you're on Mass Appeal. Are you on Mass Appeal today, John? I didn't know that.
Somewhere after 11 o'clock, you're going to see a Fiesta shrimp and pineapple summer salad with bits of jalapeno and some corn. Things that'll be a little bit in season as summer comes along, and something else. So it was a funny story. I got to teach the thing. Like my 30 seconds for that segment was that I wanted to make spicy greens with beef. I wanted mustard greens because right now
I remember you mentioning mustard greens
on TV on the farms. The big leafy mustard has got its tops that look like broccoli. And in the farmers markets over there, a couple weeks ahead. So a few weeks ago, I was eating it over there, and I love it. It's mustard. Young mustard greens are very peppery with like a hint of broccoli taste because where the flower head is still like a broccoli bunch. And I couldn't find any though, so I ended up getting broccoli rabe, which is in. So what turns out, if you don't know this, is that cabbage, all the cruciferous vegetables come from the lineage of the wild mustard, and so kohlrabi and kale and broccoli itself and cauliflower, cabbages are all just different 5,000 different species bred out from one species over so many years, or not 5,000 years. I don't know how many species, but so how neat is that, right?
Yeah.
So that was my
the mustard greens. I get pickled mustard greens from special Asian markets all the time.
The Asian markets over in Europe are just everywhere.
Yeah. Oh man, pickled mustard greens. I eat them right out of the package here. They're great. So in season now, if I were to go out and forage, what are we finding in this area?
We're past most of the.
We're past ramps and
we're past everything.
Fiddleheads.
So I'm planning for next year to do some sort of dinner the weekend before Chester on track for benefiting the watershed. I'm trying to talk to some people so if they can help me materialize that because they do the big festival in Chester on track they bring people out there anyway, and they're always raising funds for the watershed. And so I figure it's a good time of year that to come and we missed the fiddleheads, but those are right before that time of year, so those could be picked and pickled, and the ramps could be made into butter when they come in. So we could harvest things like that, and then. I got another rant, but so I want to do a dinner around that. But there's really right now in the woods, some of the mushrooms are coming up. The morels, people, those are definitely sought after and becoming a pop up, and some of the other edible mushrooms. Right. But I stopped at the trout hatchery, out by Belchertown Way, over by the Quabbin recently. Ever been there?
No. Not that one,
no. So there's a giant fish tank with some huge monster trout that you can walk up to see as a visitor. You can see them swimming around, these weird crossbreeds of trout and salmon and steelheads. And there was a blue trout, like blue lobster. There was a blue trout. I was like, wow. And then the visitors can walk. They have one run of it. You can actually see where there's probably 500,000 to 1 million trout between the length of one stretch of these tanks. And that's 1/10 of this whole facility, and it's amazing. I worked in a pet store when I was a kid, and it was just like it's a giant fish tank, right? And they have some natural ponds at the end that filter the water, so it's like a constant running rivers to keep these fish humanely raised as if they're happy and living a thing but it's a food source, right? Because they only use it to I think stock the rivers for like recreation so that they have trout. But they could be using all of that and making trout or salmon for which trout is just like a salmon. So when they grow big, there's plenty of food there. They could be growing. That could be an operation. They can give that food to help the hunger program in the state.
Do what they're doing with tilapia.
Yeah, they have this system set up to raise trout, which can get really big and be a source of meat. So it'd be neat to see. I mean,
I just wish more staff to run it better.
Because what bothered me was a visitor center that wasn't open to the public. And there was nobody there, and I'm like,
why is it called a visitor center?
Yeah, so sad. I mean, you can see that, and it's such it was a part of our past. The salmon restocking program was an amazing thing they tried to do. It apparently didn't work, they said. But this they still have these facilities, and there was nobody to explain that there's these beautiful trout and these creatures why they're there, and then what the process is for. I just happen to know this because it's been passionate in my life the whole time. So, but. And then, as I'm thinking all these thoughts, these two bald eagles fly overhead, and it was like, oh, they wish they didn't have nets over those.
Easy pickings.
Yeah. Fish in a trough versus fish in a barrel.
What would be in season over on the other side of the pond right now?
Well, full summer swing. The interesting thing over there too is the access to vegetables year round is amazing because in the Netherlands. Farms are covered in greenhouses.
Okay.
And so they grow year round, like the whole fields, Kathy.
So like when we import
through Southwick and seeing all the tobacco fields, but the whole thing would be just covered.
When we import from Mexico, then in the winter, they're doing it for themselves year round.
Yeah, and their Mexico is northern Africa, which is a lot closer than Mexico is to Westfield.
Oh yeah.
So the vegetables in Europe are just a little fresher because even the warm climate is just not as far away.
When you were to compare the dollar to the euro, is the cost of food more or less?
So it's about this. The cost of food is about the same.
Oh, okay.
It makes it feel like you're getting a deal because you forget that the euro is is like 20 cents.
Yeah, and it's better food.
Yeah, the variety is good, and like Brussels, the different countries have different. Products from their other countries that you can just readily get in their markets and stuff like that. So and stuff is you get German bread that's driven 3 or 4 hours from one country to another in the fresh grocery stores in Belgium because it's that close.
And
the south of France and we're producing berries. And so was Spain. So like way earlier, they're about 2 months earlier than here for their like peak strawberry season. So I was there in Nice and Monaco for a little while, and I got to go to a farmer's market in Nice, and that was like the chef's like, oh my God, the mountainsides and the Pacific Ocean and like these super fresh berries. I was just like, oh my goodness. It was a thing.
And something, let's say, as simple as ketchup. If you look at the ingredients over here, and then you look at the ingredients over there, same company, let's call it Heinz, completely different ingredients, but it's Heinz ketchup.
Right. Well, I don't drink I hadn't drank soda in years and years anymore, and I used to drink Coca-Cola all the time, and then I didn't like Coca-Cola anymore, and I don't like any soda really anymore. But I was having like a greasy street vendor, not even greasy. It was actually pretty good. It was a kebab with like beef meat and stuff like that, and I was like, this would be good with a carbonated beverage, and so I have a Coca-Cola, and it was cane sugar. It wasn't cane. I mean, it was cane sugar, and it didn't have any of the other things in it except for the phosphoric acid and the thing. And I was like, wow.
Spanish shops, you can get the cane sugar Coca-Cola.
Yeah, apparently, they import them from in the United States. You can get them imported from down there, but they're just not allowed. Those chemicals aren't allowed in the food over there.
Yeah.
And so many
they don't have beef flavor in the French fries over there.
No, they don't. They don't have the ketchup we have in New Zealand. They don't have. They have the cane sugar Coke. They don't have the Coke that we have, so it's different.
This country was generally healthier before all the additives.
Oh my goodness, exactly, Peter.
I'm just saying. That's coming from a conservative.
The breads, the white breads, right, and the soft breads, the grocery store breads. We have whole aisles of grocery store breads. They do have a few of them in Europe, but they're made differently, and everywhere is just fresh bread, with no it's bread. It's flours and grains and stuff like that, and no preservatives. It gets hard in a day and a half, and you buy what you need. You can buy it by a half a loaf or a slice by.
That's why you always see people walking down the street with a loaf of bread.
Oh, the first time I did that, I went to the grocery store and I had this again. I just snapped. It was like still kind of warm and crunchy. And I snapped it. And I just was walking. It was like, oh yeah, that was the time. That's again why the extra pounds is the baked goods. I'm trying to eat more vegetables because they're there, but there's just so much comfort food. Prague, I got to experience quite a few dishes of Czech Republic comfort foods that were really delicious.
You got to stop there and talk about that because that's up my alley. That type of cuisine.
One of the dishes I had was something one of my dad's buddies used to make over a campfire, just because it's great anyway. But they take like a kielbasa, like a smoked sausage link, and they stew it in barbecue sauce. The one they served me was the end of the day. They must have had some that they just kind of put in later in the day and hadn't had a chance to get crispy and caramelized. But the sauce tasted like the ones had all day. So it was onions and peppers and this like sweet barbecue, like roasted Czech Republic sausage. Getting better at not saying the old name of the place.
Right.
And then they're big with bread puddings of all different kinds and colors. So like they'll use like certain, like it'll be only white breads and it'll be like a light bread pudding with things in it, or it'll be like with spots of dark bread to give it a pattern or thing like it's a fancy side bread puddings with like meat gravies and things. God. Also not good for the waistline.
No.
Are you getting hungry?
But I balance it by walking through these cities and seeing all the architecture and botanical gardens.
So how many cities did you go through?
I'm not actually counting but it's
the trains are cheap. It's not that hard to go through a city.
Yeah, it is. It's Germany. So Germany and the Netherlands, and we'll just do like countries, and Belgium, and Luxembourg, and Monaco, and France, Spain, Portugal. We'll get to the cool thing. So this traveling. If I'm traveling, it has to be super cheap or have a reason or be work related. And I found the cheapest flight one time had a 13-hour layover in an island somewhere. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's the Azores. Have you ever heard of the Azores?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And so it's like Hawaii in the Atlantic Ocean. And so this 13-hour layover, I was able to rent a car really, really cheap, and like you could drive around the whole island in 2 hours. And I experienced swimming in a volcano hot spring, and like found a spot in the ocean where you can go and like dip in where that low tide, the water's coming out of the earth here, and the cold water slapping on the beach here, and you can hang out there. It's really neat. What's really amazing, I'm such a like nerd about like geography and stuff like that. You can see that it used to be connected to how the United States and parts of Europe and that island are all were all together at one time, because the flora is similar. just more tropical. It's a little warmer there, so they're bigger, and they haven't so things that are ferns here, they get kind of big. Here are look like the dinosaurs still live there. It's but it's the same fern, just in a much bigger version. It's pretty cool.
Do you stick to EU, or have you gone over to Great Britain at all?
That's on the list.
Okay.
I had a layover in November for 24 hours.
Heathrow?
But I didn't. They botched some flights and gave me a really nice hotel room and a fancy dinner. It was really nice. But I didn't get to leave the airport that time.
So I see you posting every now and then, hey, I'm in New York and I can use a ride. Or, how quick are you able to actually find a ride when you need it?
Well, I'm always prepared to have public. I keep my eye on the prices on the public transportation, and so most of the bus trips are like $12.
Oh, okay.
$22, and train tickets are $18 to $36 if you catch. I'm just again, if you're in alignment with the thing you're looking for, it's going to show up something works out.
And we don't have very good public transportation.
No, so we only have
in some of the larger metropolitan areas, it's okay. All right. But you can be over in the European Union. You don't need a car. Matter of fact, I think car ownership is like 20% or something like that.
No, you could live in. Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's real here. And I'm passionate about is that things like having a stop, turning the Chester rail station back into a stop. The train goes by it anyway. They just have to stop it for 5 minutes. They could have a kiosk. It's like across the country, they could just add that into the system and fix the transportation industry. But the car companies don't want that.
No, but
I don't know how. And
the other thing too is the government doesn't do things well. They don't produce things well. They just don't run things well. And so in Europe, it's not the railroads aren't government run. They're government subsidized, but they're not government run. They're private corporations. And the problem is the government runs our passenger rail system because they didn't want it to completely die. And whenever they take over an industry, it's just not. They don't know how to run it. Bureaucracy doesn't know how to run an industry.
That's the point. Bureaucracy doesn't know how to run the industry, and it's unfortunate. We had such potential.
Potential.
How is it the United States is now potential and not action?
I'm a big person for public transit. I'm a big person for public transit because for 20 years, when I'd plan a trip somewhere, I'm like, okay, well, the bus line is here, and I can get from here to there, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, right. And you can do that.
And I plan that out.
Do that with Greyhound and Amtrak. You can get across the country, and you can do it cheap. If you have the time frame. If you have a deadline, well, then that's when things get expensive. But if you have nothing to do and all day to do it, then you can wait for the best possible thing, or spend an extra day in a hostel for $20 or $14 or something like that, or bunk on it with somebody. So it's interesting ways to see the world and do different things.
That's something I'm not prepped for, and something I'm not really interested in doing and I've looked at them, is staying in a hostel for a night or two.
You say that
I haven't gotten there,
and definitely there's different kinds now. I've seen a few, but like the first one I saw was really neat. It was super clean hotel style, and your cubicle was big and spacious, and you had a nice locker and safe lock, and the place was clean, and and there are plenty of those, and so if it's a quarter of the price of a hotel room in a city, or half the, then that's pretty amazing.
It is amazing, but is it worth me dealing with the guy snoring next to me, or I'm now in a cubicle and my claustrophobia is starting to get
Well, if you have claustrophobia, that might be a thing. And what I don't know if you use a CPAP machine or not, but I mean, the other people have to be okay with that too. We're all adults. We're all in this world. We're adults, so people have earplugs and eye masks, and you do your own thing.
I see. That's the other. I can't black myself out to the world when I sleep. Since age 12 or 13, I've had a television on all night long.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's cost me a couple of relationships. I can't have dark and silence because that is when my mind starts to wander.
I love dark and silence.
Yeah.
I need noise.
Noise.
Fan noise works. Any noise, honestly, but like some kind of.
I love city noise. Will do it for me. Yeah.
I don't know. I have water rushing by. So
That's Well, so I had that for a lot of my life now.
I'd just be getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom if I had that.
I've lived along the Westfield River for over 20 years until this traveling started. No.
Oh, okay. I know you used to love the garden one way or another, either raised beds or buckets for an entire area. With your lifestyle now, are you getting a chance to do any gardening?
Well, at home base here with the kids and stuff, I have a few plants and legacy things there, and some flowers to make the place look pretty for them.
Still doing that tomato plant you've been going on for
I'm
12
gonna
years?
go check if it's still alive. That's after the show. I know that they kept my mom alive. When I started to travel in the fall of last year, I knew that some of these legacy plants I had might not make it. So I donated them to the school and said, clone them, grow them, keep them. If there's anything left, maybe in a couple months when the school's done, I'd love some pieces back.
Oh, so you're running over to horticulture after?
Yeah.
I might come down with you.
Yeah, please
I want to
do.
check that out.
I'm excited. I know that they said the mum survived, so it probably flowered beautifully. I didn't get to see it. I just missed it gonna flower. And then I'm happy that it survived. Some of my plants are special, so that's an interesting thing. So it's a good question, right? Do I have these legacy plants? I have so many friends with gardens that you can put a plant here, and you can come help me weed, and so there's a beautiful community of that. And then on the patio, on the front and back patio, I have a very small back patio in Brussels. We have, and I have some peas and spinach and some flowers that I've planted around there, and then the front patio that gets all sun all day, and then the front patio I've got a blueberry bush and some peas. The blueberry bush the climate is like here, but it doesn't get deep freezes, and so I have a big enough pot where the blueberry bush should be able to stay out all year if I just put some hay over it.
Do you get the humidity there?
It's not. It rains all the time, but it's not humid. It's always absorbed right away. But it's gray often in Central Europe.
Oh, that would bother me.
But there are definitely. I'm blessed that where I go, sunshine shines. So when I'm outside, there's just good periods of good sunshine.
So when are you going back?
I go to New York at the end of the week. The Azores for a week this time, so I can explore 2 islands and get into So there's this cuisine that I didn't get to try last time. They take a stew, and they put it in a pot, and they seal it, and they lower it into the steam chambers of the geysers of the volcanic thing, and they cook the stew in there. And so I'm gonna go.
See, that's something you can't have in your kitchen. You cannot have a volcano. So there. Don't even ask. You can't.
I don't know. I saw somebody firing clay pots in the microwave in a thing in their microwave the other day, and I'm like, that's interesting.
No.
A microwave kiln. Whoa.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no volcanoes in the kitchen.
No.
So there's people have been doing interesting things around the world for a long time. I want to learn more about it. You know what? I haven't watched any of those TV shows. That's the thing. I was in the kitchen. I maybe watched some episodes of Top Chef here and there. I never watched a cooking show. I never watched any of these travel shows or anything like that. So for me, I'm like a kid in the candy store seeing this stuff for the first time. Didn't even know it was out there. I might start looking stuff up a little bit more, but if I'm going to prepare to be there.
Tony Bourdain pulled me into all that stuff a while back too.
I never got into him deeply. I didn't understand.
Yeah, I got into other shows before him, but he is when I started to do a real deep dive.
You know what happened though is when I met after those times with that guy, the Loud Chef, in person a couple of times, and being at a taping, I was like, I don't really have any. Watch any of this stuff. It's
all right. So, wow, that was a pretty quick segment.
Oh well, we went through the whole hour already. Huh?
Yeah, didn't even stop for a break.
That was real.
Yeah, felt good to get all that out, and oh man, maybe I'll do this again in a year.
I'll be back sooner than that if you want to have me.
Well, let me know when you're going to be back in town, and we'll get you in here.
We can always do it some remote where I can have some cool scenery in the background once I get a slightly better phone,
I'm open to that.
Cool.
Yeah, we run Zoom here.
Oh, that's easy then.
Yeah, you just have Zoom on your end, and we can put multiple boxes up on the screen, and we'll be good to go.
I would be interested in doing that. Yeah.
All right.
It's always fun.
All right. So.
Oh, we didn't even get to the things. We got 2 minutes.
Oh,
I brought you.
yes, we do.
I brought you Landjager, which is like a German traditional Slim Jim.
Okay.
And these are organic good ones. And then Edeltrofen and Nuss, which is booze in inside little chocolate candies. And I know it's not really good for your system, but maybe you can.
The Ozempic I can do anything with now.
They're small. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
So and those are I can only find those in Germany too. But
oh wow.
I brought those for you guys.
Wow. I just hear him talking about what we have here. What are you?
Who?
What?
Yeah, you're hearing something there, aren't you? Anyways,
not coming from me.
You're picking up the language pretty good then.
Slowly but surely. I had a bunch of years of French when I was in grammar school.
Oh, that'll help.
I took 4 years of Latin in high school that I slept through most of, but still got But I heard and understand that system. But it was cool going to the Czech Republic because they speak a completely different language, and which was really neat. The Europeans also don't speak the Czech language either, so everybody's at a loss. They actually speak more English than they do other European languages. But you can see some of my stuff still on my website at chefjohnslattery.com. You can reach me through the email links and things like that, and you can find me on social media at that and Love Chef
we
Magic
will see you.
Instagram.
All right, and if you can't catch Mass Appeal, or if you're watching this after Mass Appeal, you can go onto their website to check out your segment as well.
Absolutely, on WWLP.
All right. John, thanks for spending an hour of time with us here.
Ken, thanks for having me. I
Good to
appreciate
see
it.
you. Welcome.
Kathy, it's always good to see you. Peter, always great to see you in the
Absolutely.
box over there, here and there. And
In this box.
yeah.
All right. That's all I have for you. I'll catch you next week.